All right, so here they want us to solve this graphically and numerically. So let's start with graphically. So what we want to do is we basically are going to graph this side and we're going to graph this side. Okay, so we're saying the first graph is y1 in this case is equal to 2 over x plus 1, and our second one, y2, is equal to x. Okay, so y equals x, that's easy. That's just the line that looks like that. Now, basically, we have to figure out what is this one. So we're going to plug in some values for x here. So if we plug in a minus 3, we end up with what? We get a 1. And if we plug in a minus 2, we get a minus 2. And if we plug in 0, we get 2. If we plug in 1, we get 2/3. And if we plug in 3, we get 1/2. So that's kind of how we get that. And so what we're going to do is we'll plot these values and we get the red for that. Now, I already said we get y equals x is just this here purple line. Well, they've gone ahead and said that's the blue line. And now what we need to do is we need to find out where that point is and where that point is. And guess what? Well, that's where they line up here and where they line up here. So at x is minus 2, y is minus 2. When x is 1, y is 1. And so that's the 2 points where they actually are crossing. Okay. Now, numerically, also the solutions are minus 2 and 1. Numerically, what they do in the book here is a little bit different than what I would do. What I would do is say, okay, well, numerically, if we're going to actually solve this numerically, I'm going to do a cross product and I'm going to get 2 is equal to x squared plus x. Because when you take x times this, we get x squared plus x. Then I'll subtract 2. And so I get x squared plus x minus 2 equals 0. I'm going to use factorization here. So I'm going to get x plus 2, x minus 1, solved by setting both of those equal to 0. So here I'm going to get x is equal to a minus 2. Here I'm going to get x equals 1. And that's my two solutions. Now, what they show is a little bit different. They're saying, okay, well, we're going to plug all these x values in again, and I'm going to look at both equations. Okay, well, when I do that, I get, where they all line up. Well, they all line up at minus 2 and 1, which is what I show up here. But this way really to me is more of a numerical way than what they show. And so, it both work. Just depends on how you want to look at it numerically, okay? And so again, the solutions are minus 2 and 1. All right, so let's stop with that and come back with some examples.